honor to work with.
I'm sorry to interrupt you. It's going to be recorded. I forgot to tell you. This webinar is going to be recorded and it's going to be uploaded with along with the presentation, so you can visit them later. Please, Eddie. I'm sorry, really sorry about that.
Okay, I'm Edie Wang from the Commercialization and the Industrial Services Center of Industrial Technology Research Institute. That is ITRI. It's my great honor to work with Demeter, CSKC, and Smart City Tech project again for building the cooperation webinar between EU and Taiwan. First of all, I would like to express my sincere thanks to Demeter. Without your effort and your team's great support, we could not make this event happen today. According to the statistic from the Ministry of Economic Affairs, Taiwan, that Taiwan is ranked number 15 trade partner to the EU. That means Taiwan and the EU already built a very strong relationship in the business area. In the machinery sector, Taiwan import a lot of machinery system from the EU countries. On the other hand, Taiwan also export a lot of machinery products to the European countries, such as the machinery, machine tool and the robot and the hand tool, those kind of parts. The machinery industry in Taiwan mainly focusing on the machine tool, but with the strong support from the government that is moving to the smart machinery industry. That means it's not just a hardware making. We also try to emphasize our capability in the software, in the system integration. So that's we would like to help our SME to collaborate with multinational companies to seize the business opportunities of Industrial 4.0. That's why we would like to have this kind of opportunities to work with Demeter and his team. Today, we are delighted to have the largest machine tool research institute in Taiwan. That's a Precision Machinery Research Center led by the general manager, Mr. Tim Lai, and famous machine tool company, Fair Friend Group, Mr. Marcos Huang. He also will introduce the FFG company. And one of a co-robot company, we call it as TM Robot. Mr. Guang Lin will introduce TM Robot. That's what do they do, and what kind of strategies that they are approaching in the European market. And we also invite one of our well-known hand tool companies called Turan. Ms. Julie Huang was with us. She will introduce as hand tool products. What do they do in the European company? You may learn more inside story or the inside company's strategy about that later on. Today, the digitalization and the internationalization has become the key factors to the SME. Hope the companies of EU and Taiwan will be able to work together and to create the business opportunities in the 21st century. I think I'm better to give that sort of time to all the speakers to tell you more. So I'm looking forward to seeing everyone in person one day. Hope the COVID-19, the Omicron will be gone soon. Stay safe and have a great day today. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Eddie, for that wonderful presentation. I really appreciate your participation here. You're one of the most serious people I've ever met about working. So I suggest we start with the schedule. We're going to upload that schedule too, but basically There are 8 presentations, one another one. We tried to diversify the presenters. And the first one to present is Mr. Tim Lai, who is General Manager of Precision Machinery Center of Promotion, Smart Machinery Promotion Office. Please, Mr. Lai, have the floor.
Thank you your invite, and I will present. And good afternoon. And my presentation right now. Okay. Good afternoon in Taiwan, and it's my great honor to participate in today's event. This event provides a channel for companies from both Europe and Taiwan to communicate. I will briefly introduce Taiwan's machinery industrial and smart machinery policy during the presentation. We can see my PPT. Okay, go on. Next page. First of all, most machinery firms are small and medium-sized enterprise in Taiwan, and more than 42% of machinery firms are located in central Taiwan, and it can create.
I'm sorry to interrupt you. Should I put the presentation going on? Because there is no presentation. I'm sorry, just a second.
Okay, I wait for you. You can tell me.
I am going to just open it. And,
okay.
Give me a minute, because
okay.
she told your secretary.
Yeah, right.
Is that her? Can you see it?
Yeah, I can see it. And the next page.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, can change to the next page.
Just a second, please.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, great. Okay. You can change it to
Taiwan
yeah. Okay. Okay. From this page, first of all, most of the machinery firms are small and medium-sized enterprise in Taiwan, and the more than 42% of machinery firms are located in central Taiwan. It creates to introduce an industrial cluster and allow buyers to get all the equipment they need within an hour. Among all the machine and the most competitive sub-industrial are woodworking machine and machine tool, rubber and plastic machinery, semiconductor equipment, and industrial robot in Taiwan. Taiwan's machinery is mainly export. After the US-China trade war and outbreak of COVID-19, application demand have stunted. Taiwan's machinery industrial has been highly affected. However, with the advantage and the delivery of a vaccine, the global market have gradually recovered, and the demand for automation and AI-related products are boosting. In addition, the top 5 export markets of the machinery industrial are shown on the following chart, and the top 3 exporting countries together account for about 16%. Next page. Smart machine development program belong the government's 5+2 innovative industrial plan. The goal is to upgrade Taiwan precision machinery to smarter machinery and provide total solution to the world. The program will cover 3 dimensions, height, breadth, and depth, to help the firms upgrade and digitalize. First, breadth means improve the SMEs digitalization level and optimize the capability. 2, depth arms to support the adopt information strength and AI implementation with its supply chain partner. Second, highly means focus on the largest enterprise to create leading technology in smart manufacturing and smart products. And I will give more detail on the following page. Ministry of Economy Affairs launched the smarter machine box. We call that SMB. And SMU, technology assist plans. SMB help collect machine data and allow firms to improve production. SMU let the process systems information could be more transportation. On the other hand, the Taiwan government also promoted the pilot industrial program to strengthen largest firms' flexibility and productivity by developing smarter production lines and factories. This program also enhanced the companies between domestic power users and the solution providers in 4 different manufacturing industrial. Once the largest firms develop their smart factory, it can set a benchmark for SMEs to follow and accelerate the process of smart manufacturing in Taiwan. Next page. Next page.
Yeah,
conclusion. Sure. Conclusion. Taiwan faced both technology leading and mass products competition. It grew to promote smart manufacturing, also introduce a new technology like AI and 5G. The government will continue promote smart machinery and smart manufacturing with 3 strategy: local linkage, feature, and local and global linkage. In smarter machinery, by enhancing the technology foundation, it can fulfill the critical technology gap and improve the system integration capacity. So, in the smarter manufacturing, through the customized service platform and the introduction of an AI model and 5G communication technology, Taiwan can strengthen the manufacturing ability and become Asia's high-end manufacturing center. Next page. Thank you for your attention. It's my presentation. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Lei, for that review. I'm stopping sharing That was wonderful. Thank you very much and very informative. I think for anyone who is thinking of doing business with a Taiwanese company, that would be very useful information. Thank you very much. So the next presenter is going to be the replacement of Mr. Miro, who is Mr. Marcos. Are you there, Mr. Marcos?
Yes.
Yeah, please have a floor.
Okay. Can you see my presentation?
Yes.
Okay. I'm Marcus Wang from FFG Group, working in intelligent manufacturing and the data service division. So it's a pleasure today to share with you about FFG smart manufacturing and future opportunities. So in my presentation today, I would like to start with a brief introduction about FFG Group and share with you in FFG perspective on digital transformation and what along with FFG, what FFG is doing to help our customer progress on their own Industry 4.0. And also we are going to talk about global industry trends and FFG's future business strategies. Okay. FFG Group, through international mergers and acquisitions, we are now with 94 companies in the world. So our headquarters is now in Taiwan. And in FFG, we have 3 business divisions, which are the Machine Tool Division, Industry Equipment Division, and the Green Energy Division. Our main business division is the Machine Tool Division, with 37 brands scattered in 10 major countries. In Taiwan, we have 5 companies. Also, we are in Japan, Germany, Italy, and the US. And among these companies, we are with 50 manufacturing centers over the world. And looking at our position in global market in metal cutting, we are ranking the number 3. And as you can see, there is only one Taiwanese company in this ranking. And when we look at global capital equipment, we are number 1 in automotive, number 2 in aerospace, and the number 3 in energy, and the number 5 in railroad. And these are our global customers in the automotive industry. We are working directly with top-tier brands in automotive manufacturer like BMW, Ford, Volkswagen, in Europe, North America, and also in Asia. And these are our global customers in the aerospace industry. We work with Boeing, Airbus, and GE directly. In FFG, we have a wide range of product portfolio, which covering from the middle to ultra high-end products. In each market segment, we are located with different FFG brands. Like in the middle high-end, we have our Taiwan, Japan, Korea brand to support it. And for the ultra high-end, we have our European companies to support it. This is our plant recently established in Bangalore, India. In this plant is a core investment from Taiwan, FFG, and German MAG. In this plant, we bring together a middle-end machine tool from Taiwan and a high-end machine tool from Germany, and share together with the same manufacturing resource. And the capacity of the annual production is over 600 units per year to fulfill our local demand to our customers like Tata, BMW, GM, and others aerospace industry customers. So next, I would like to share the way we have evolved in the smart manufacturing from FFG. So in our point of view, FFG smart manufacturing is covered by 4 different levels. Starting with the smart machine tools, which is our main business, the core business. We are trying to develop the intelligent function into the machine tools. Also, we provide to our customer for integrate solution for the smart production line and the smart factory management systems. Also, FFG has its own data service platform to service to our customer to provide data service and digital twins applications. So this is our smart machine tool solution. As you can see, all these main components in the machine tools is integrated with the smart sensors to provide a real-time monitoring and a diagnostic or preventive function into the machine. Regarding to the factory management, we provide with our own data service platform with the device connection. We apply into the production management to increase overall productive efficiency. Also, we use in the maintenance to optimize or reduce the cost of the after service. Also, in this platform, we can integrate with the third-party solution or the existing solution in the factory. Here's a couple of applications I would like to share with you. As I say, we are helping our customer to build up a smart factory management platform, provide a real-time monitoring dashboard, CNC machine tool production management, and also the AI data analysis services. And in this application, also we are working with our Switzerland company, Fifner, with their high-end rotary process machine, works together with the production management applications by integrating the machine operating status information, combined with the in-plane production information together. Here is our engine cylinder production demo line that we show in the AMO Hanover in 2019. And in this demo line, we integrate the cutting tools, washing machine, automotive measure system, and robot arm and AGV. Also in this demo line, we demonstrate the concept of CPS, the cyber physical system, by using simulation software to ensure the process and the design of this production line is proper or working before the real implementation to save the money and the cost of time. This is the live demo that we did in the AMO show, the automotive production line in our booth. So in overall, FFG Smart Manufacturing, we focus on our own data service platform, providing integration for the smart machine tool, smart production line, also smart facility, energy, environment, and surveillance in the one platform. And then also in this platform can be integrated with a factory operation system like ERP, SCM, CRM, and PLM. Also, this is the open platform which our customer, our partner, or others company can join together in this platform. So since 2017, we started working on a project called Factory of the Future with 5G technologies. This project comes from the Horizon 2020. It's an EU-Taiwan collaboration project called Clear 5G, focus on 5G radio network for Factory of the Future. From Taiwan, there were 2 companies and 2 academic institutes participate. And in the European Union, there were 4 companies in 3 academic institutions. At the same time, FFG, we have also applied another Taiwan government project called A+ Innovative R&D program in order to implement this new technology in the real factory. So which it's become the first 5G intelligent factory of future in Taiwan. is now allocating in our factory FFG and Nesta Iwata in Hsinchu. And in this project, we have integrated a spray gun body automated production line with 5G network technology. Also, we have integrated with several smart applications like AGV or MR smart glasses remote guidance, and the AI AOI recognition solution. So as you can see here, the production line is integrated with AGV, AOI, and smart glass with 5G and network connections. So the last, we are going to talk about the global industry trend and FLG future business strategies. So the global trend, as everyone knows, the industrial innovation in the past is centralized, but now the customized product demand is increasing, and we think for the future to deliver to the customer a value add on data analysis will be important. And also the change in the industrial structure from the cross-vertical supply chain to an open cooperation platform, which means in the present, you need to integrate more smart solution or system in your factory. But we think in the near future, the integration will not happen only in the factory. The integration will become cross-industry. So we think the industry ecosystem will be necessary for achieve these targets. So during the self-examination on the core competence for Fairframe Group, there are advanced technology capability and international talents for Fairframe worldwide channel, and also we can serve to our customer with a networking of production base over the world. Also, we have marketing channel in 37 global well-known brands. Also in China, we have more than 100 direct sales networks. So FFG through these sales channel across the globe, we pretend to become a global marketing and a smart manufacturing service provider rather than traditional equipment manufacturer. We will continuously establish our own marketing and channel and the service technology locally, all over the world. And then the other important strategy for FFG is we will continue to bring more Western and brand for the high-end machine tool brand to Taiwan or to Asia. As you can see, all these brands come from our Europe company. So now these brands are assembling or producing their product here in Taiwan. So FFG is also joined the corporate social responsibility and environment, social and governance (ESG). And this is some images for the FFG social participation. So in conclusion, FFG strengths and the business strategy, we will continue to improve our customer service through our marketing channel and after sales systems. And we will continue to introduce our Western brand to Taiwan for the technology transfer and also the key components to be produced in Taiwan. And also we offer the smart manufacturing consulting service to give our customer a turnkey solution, help them to progress on their own Industry 4.0 journey. And also we will continue to work on the CSR and the ESG and to achieve an environmental and the social sustainability. Okay, so this is my presentation today, and thank you for your time. Thank you.
Thank you, Marcus. It was another great presentation. You know, I actually come from the industrial engineering, and I graduated something like 30 years ago. And your miracles that you are speaking to me, you know, it's like I live in a wonderland. At that time when I studied it, all this was just a fantasy, you know. So thank you very much for your great presentation. And I suggest we continue with another Taiwanese company, Techman Robot. Please, Mr. Quan Lin.
Hello.
You
Yes.
have the floor. Thank you.
Thank you, Demi. Let me share my screen first.
Please do.
Yes. Yeah. So does everybody see my screen now?
Yeah,
Yes,
we do.
we can see.
We can put the
Okay.
slideshow. Oh yeah, great. We can see it's great. Yeah.
Okay, so my name is Quan Lin, and I'm the sales manager from Techma Robots in Europe, and I'm sitting here in Düsseldorf, Germany. So today we'd like to present the topic, why you should do automation with Techma Robots. We'll first introduce our company and of course our product and our strategy, and then we'll tell you why you should choose us other than the other brands. So let's start. First of all, who are we? So maybe some of you have already heard about us. We are Techma Robots, and we are firstly established in 2016. Although we are a young company, but actually we are a subsidiary of the Quanta Group. So I'm sure that it's more renowned than us. And our capital amounts currently to 16.67 million USD, and we have globally around 500 employees. So our headquarters is sitting in Taoyuan, Taiwan, and currently we have a branch office already in Korea, China, and since 2020 we have our first branch office in Amsterdam in the Netherlands. So where is it? I will just give you an idea. It is actually very close to Rotterdam. So later we will give you more detail about our offices and the facilities there. Stay tuned. And we design and manufacture the so-called smart collaborative robot. And why we call it smart, because it has the very unique built-in vision system. We will also come back to this detail later when we introduce the product. And since 2019, although we are a young company, but since 2019, we become the second biggest cobot manufacturer in the world. And here, I would also like to give you a short introduction about our mother company, the Quanta Computer, which is founded in 1988. So currently, the capital amounts to 1.3 billion USD in 2018, and it has employed more than 120,000 employees in the world. As you may already know that it is actually one of the largest notebook manufacturer, and it also has products like consumer electronics, or it's also invested in like a server and clouding computing solutions recently. And in 2021, it is also nominated as a 324th biggest enterprise by Fortune Global 500. So again, although Techma is a young company, but we actually have very strong background just simply from Quanta Computer. And the next page give you an idea and a clear view that what is the deployment of Techma in the world. Not just our branch offices, but also our SaaS channels like distributors and system integrators. So here, let's have a closer look of the Europe because that's what we care about today. Here you can see that we have 28 distributors in Europe and one office since 2020 in the Netherlands. And here I would also like to emphasize that we are still expanding very fast. So for all the companies or business partners who also want to improve the automation solution in the market, you are very welcome to contact us for possible cooperation. It doesn't matter if you are distributors, system integrators, or manufacturers, even the academic institutes. Please feel free to reach us for very open discussions. Just simply after the presentation of FFG, I can already imagine some cooperation. So Mr. Marcos, maybe we should exchange the context later for open discussion. And here we have a clear view that we are currently ranked the second biggest in the market after Universal Robots. And of course, we are very ambitious, which means our future prospect is to become the first one globally. And in Europe, we want to obtain 15 to 20% of the market share. And in the long run, we also want to be one of the leading solution providers for the Industry 4.0. Why we are ambitious? Because we are also confident about products. And why is that? We'll come to that very quickly. So here you see this is the full series of our cobot, starting from payload of 4 kilograms to 14 kilograms. and the reach from 700 millimeters to 1300 millimeters. By project, we also support up to payload 16 kilogram now. And here I would, there are too much information here, but I would like to allow you to notice one of the biggest characteristics of a robot, which is the camera, as you can see here. And this is a very unique features of a cobot because our cobot can actually see. So this patch, again, we show that actually all of our cobot is designed based on these 3 core values, which is smart, simple, and safe. Why smart? Because our cobot can see. Just imagine that if you cannot see, how many applications you cannot achieve as a human being. So think about if the robot can see, how much application could be achieved just simply by that. And simple and safe. Also, we do believe that the cobot is not designed just for engineers with profound technology knowledge or very good programming skills. We do believe that the cobot is designed for much more normal workers. So it should be simple and safe. Just imagine that. Maybe after 5 to 10 years, the cobot will just sit next to you and work together with you. And that's exactly the prospect of the Industry 4.0 automation is actually around us. So let's start with smart, as I emphasized a couple of times. We are the only cobots have the integrated built-in vision system, and it is not integrated just in the hardware-wise, but also the software-wise. So here, if you want to do a vision task, just simply with our TM Vision, the software, you have all of the instruction inside. Just follow it step by step. Then you can finish the vision task intuitively and very easily. Also, if you want to recalibrate the robot, just put the calibration boards as in the picture under the camera, and the robot will do the rest of the job by itself automatically. So it's really saving a lot of efforts and time. What else? So here is also another big advantage you can realize just with our very unique vision system, which is called like the TM landmark feature. With this TM landmark feature, it allows our cobot to update the position data of its surrounded objects. What does it mean? If you relocate our cobot from one workstation to another workstation for the repetitive task, you just have our camera scan on this TM landmark, and it can update all of the relative position data near it. So you don't have to readjust or reposition our cobot, and you can start to perform the task by itself. Just imagine how much effort and cost you can save simply by this feature of a cobot. And then simple, as I said, that we believe that cobot is made for much more different workers in the world. For example, like people are also using cobot in restaurants. So I do believe that those people, they don't have very profound programming knowledges, and we can still make it happen with our very simple and intuitive software, TM Flow. As you can see from the pictures, all of the programming processes are already modularized and presented as a graphic. So all you have to do is use your mouse to click on this graphic and pull them into the screen, the middle, sorry. Yes, like here. And each square you can click in to do different settings, and then the programming basically is already done. It is really as easy as I explained. The next page, because like through Zoom, we cannot show the video. So we still try to show you the step to depict how easy it could be. So in the first pictures, you see that our engineer is putting like the TM landmark stickers under the camera, but it could be actually a kind of object that you want the robot to see or to recognize. And you go to our system TM Flow to create a project, give it a name. And then you will be directed to our vision software platform. And you just follow the instructions step by step. And then eventually the vision test will be created. So if you notice, actually the whole step is less than 1 minute. It is very intuitive and fast, and it really solves most of the programming problems of the nowadays hardships. And in the end, we also like to share one of one of the lots of successful stories from us. And this is a case study in continental in Hungary. Here, clearly you can see that they already deployed around 30 to 40 cobots from us, and you can see the high density of cobot here. And most of the cobots are used for pick and place or machine tending. In the second page, we see that you see the TM landmark feature is heavily used in this scenario. It shows again that how much effort I could set for our users, because simply with this TM landmark, they can copy the programming from one cobot to another. They can relocate the cobot as they wish or in short time manner. So this is the last page from the presentation today. I think I gave you the first idea how easy and intuitive you can do with our cobots for different applications. But still, if you can see and touch it by yourself, I do believe that you will be more impressed. So again, everybody is very welcome to come to our office in Amsterdam. And it is not just the office. You see in the pictures that we also have a training room there, which give trainings and courses to teach you how to program with our cobots in weeks. And we also have the demo room where you see what kind of applications are already accomplished and realized with our cobot, and of course, a video room for marketing purpose. So this will make my presentation today. Thank you for your attention. I'll give it back to you, Divi.
Thank you very much, Kwan. It was a great pleasure to hear you again from about all these robots. I really appreciate it. I told you I studied robots, but robots 30 years ago are not like today's robots. So at my time they were Fanuc, you know, and I think it was almost the only one that worked really in that area. Now there are a lot of companies, and I know this is totally different than 30 years ago, which could be very good, in fact.
And Dimi, we need to arrange a time for you to visit our office.
Absolutely, I would love to see all this. You know, when all this stuff with the COVID things pass out, I'm calling you and we get in touch later on.
You are very welcome. Thank you, Dimi.
Yeah. Thanks a lot one more time. And the next company in our list is an European organization that is going to be presented by Mr. Damir Filipovic. It's a Belgium organization. It's called Alliance from Internet of Things Innovations. So, Mr. Filipovic, please, you have the floor.
Thank you, Dimitra, for the invitation. Thank you for the opportunity. I will basically, let me first try to share the screen, number one. So basically I will try to, let's say, explain in 3 steps what we are trying to do. First, to introduce you a bit about the organization, because of course, most of you most likely don't know us. Second is to try to explain what our manufacturing group in general is trying to do, and then to show you their, let's say, latest activity, which I think could be of potential interest for you, because I think all the technologies that you presented here are great. But there are some challenges to it, and how we try to actually go around this and build, let's say, the awareness and taking up these technologies, and develop also business models around that take up and acceptance. So a bit about the organization. So we were initiated in 2015 from the European Commission. The idea at the time, when they were preparing the framework European research program, which was called Horizon 2020, was to include what was at the time considered as an emerging technologies like 5G, Internet of Things, and so on into that program. So they initiated this stakeholder platform, gathered together a lot of participants, and asked for the input for specific projects related to Internet of Things, which eventually happened in 2016. And after that, we basically were transformed in the non-profit international organization that continued the work on this and other topics. And actually, not to talk too much about the history, just to show you very briefly what we are trying to do now. So there are 3 main themes we try to cover. First is, I would say, quite logical for the organization having IoT in its name, and that's the application of IoT in various domains. One of them is manufacturing, and there are 5 others that we are covering. And that's what I think it is a bit of a beauty of the organization, that we are not talking about IoT just generically or from the point of view of the policy, research, or standardization. This is important, but also about the application in the sectors like agriculture, buildings, mobility, energy, and manufacturing. We are also talking about IoT and edge computing convergence, because it's obvious trend that things are moving closer to the edge, and let's say a bit moving away from the cloud. And then, of course, to show how IoT can be a sort of the engine for the broader convergence, which then includes connectivity, IoT, cloud, edge, and AI as well. And that is also something that comes, I would say, closer to what most of the participants are doing. Very briefly, how we do this: we either provide input to relevant policies, regulations, strategies, and standardization. Because, for example, we heard today quite a lot about the robots, robotics, implementation on a factory floor and in general. And the thing is that, of course, for example, that raises the question how AI and other, let's say, softwares are applied basically in managing the robots, and also what are the related liabilities, for example. So we are, for example, dealing with things like this: standardization, openness, interoperability, and so on. And then we still work quite a lot on the R&I programs, because they are quite big and they are still very relevant. I will just say that the European Union in the first 4 years of the new research program is investing about 300 million euros in projects related to IoT, cloud, and edge. And so I'm just talking about the big ones, right? There's a lot of other projects, which I think it's also something that is of interest. And just to mention also the big partnerships that we are also part of, which is Key Digital Technologies, which is about microelectronics, secon, so about basically transportation and mobility, smart networks and services, so advanced networks beyond 5G. And of course, in all of them, you can find some elements that would lead you also to IoT and this, let's say, convergence alongside of the computing continuum. Very briefly about the organization, so about 200 members, over 500 people working together. And you see that there is quite a nice mix of companies, which are 2/3 of the members, but also researchers in academia, other sectoral associations, and even public authorities, which I think gives us a bit of the width and breadth in what we do. So we are not like kind of very narrowly focused, but we have a quite broad range of views that we can represent. Very briefly about our manufacturing group. So you could see basically what are the three, I would say, main points, what they are trying to do at least this year, because we are, of course, every year managing to see what we try to do. So you see there is a defined methodology for applying IoT and edge computing on processes for sustainable manufacturing. And this is something that I will a bit talk about later. Identifying and participating in EU-funded calls. This is quite interesting. There is a lot of advanced calls and a lot of our members actually participating there. We are helping them to find the calls and find the partners and bid there. And then, of course, to identify and work with other manufacturing stakeholders that are important and that can also help us, and we can help them to develop basically work that makes sense for both industry and implementers. And then you see some of their expected outcome and deliverables. Plus, there will be also a couple of events where we will basically try to kind of promote the work and promote the outcomes of that work. Now to come to the crux of the thing. So what we see as, let's say, manufacturing challenges is that there is a lot of technology out there. There's a lot of technological solutions. You presented quite a lot of them today, which I think was great. And we were in touch, I have to say, with the Taiwanese representation in the European Union. And we had some previous collaborations before COVID, and we even helped some of our members to actually get to some of the very important technological fairs organized in Taiwan. So in a sense, we are not like kind of falling out of the sky here. And what I want to say is that it's great to have these technological solutions, but the challenge is actually to convince the user to actually use them and what is the benefit for them. So what we have now is you have a solution, you sell it, you have some sort of the maintenance, and that's more or less it. So basically what I think the key of the things we want to do is to explain the benefits that are provided by the technological solution, and then how basically so basically we are trying to build a sort of the use cases and examples how these challenges can be overcome on the market and how we can actually find out what are they. So in the context is that, as I already mentioned, it's not enough to consider a single supplier customer relation. I think the key here is to see, I would say, end to end what is happening, and then how the solutions and technology fits into it and what's the value for the user. Because the thing is that if you just focus on technology and one kind of a solution, that will not, I would say, also help to build either longer term relationship with the basically user or customer, nor how they would basically see potentials of the new, let's say, business models. So you have now the model which is kind of more like I buy, you sell, I buy, I implement, there is some sort of the maintenance updates, that's more or less it, but more also on the possible subscription models that would take more than just I sell you solution, and that's more or less it. And then what we try to basically do is to develop a sort of the methodology through examples and then present results and conclusions that could help actually customers to really understand those benefits, and then basically promote this and help our community to take up such solutions. And of course, if you are also willing to, let's say, contribute, or you think you have a case that would be of interest, you have contacts of our basically leads on those issues, or you can also contact me. You have my contact here, and we will be very happy to engage with you and basically be in touch for any possible collaboration. I think that was from me for today. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Damir. It was a wonderful presentation. One more from our European side. By the way, I have to mention it, perhaps most of you know that Horizon is always been actually available for Taiwanese companies and organizations. So it's a very good ground for scientific collaboration. So
Indeed.
yeah, you've been there. You told us that about the Internet of Things. By the way, Taiwan is one of the most developed country developing solutions in the Internet of Things. That's why perhaps
Correct.
You was there and you presented there. So
correct. And just to mention one thing on top of it, what I think it's now better compared to 2015-16. Before, you had in principle one framework program, which was Horizon, let's say 2020 at the time until end of 2020. Now, as of 2021, there is Horizon Europe as a successor of Horizon 2020. Now there is a Digital Europe program. So there is a broader set of projects which talk about implementation, which I think it's also quite interesting. So they're not talking about forward-looking research. It's more about implementation. So I think it's quite interesting also in manufacturing domain. You have also Connecting Europe facility, because I was hearing colleagues here talking about automotive and so on. And there is a lot of other, I would say, programs that are giving now, and partnerships that are giving much more opportunities for participation and presentation of the use cases, work, technologies than it was, let's say, 2 years ago. Just I think it's worth to mention to colleagues.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you very much, Damir. Again, I'm quite sure we're going to have some wonderful further partnership with you. I'd like now to give the word of one of my compatriots. This is Mr. Vladimir Filipov from Nearsoft Europe, and he is the managing director there, and he's going to tell us a little bit about the operation management, something interesting and nowadays related to Industry 4.0. Please, Mr. Filipov, you have the floor.
Good morning and ni hao.
Ni hao, ni hao.
Ni hao. So I'm going to talk about the operation management and the digitalization and present our company Nearsoft. Do you see my presentation?
Yeah, we can see it.
Okay.
Yeah, it's on the
Great.
screen.
And Nearsoft actually is a company, innovative company, software company, which is spin-off from ABB, Brown Boveri. I was a global product manager for manufacturing execution systems before starting the company 13 years ago. And what we do is management consulting and helping company to make their lab to Industry 4.0 through digitalization. We have helping a lot of big companies, like you see some companies in Taiwan, like China Steel, Formosa, and Yusku in Kaohsiung. And first we started with the metal industry, and then we moved to pharma industry and consumer goods. We have a lot of partnership with universities, leading universities, and consulting the Ministry of Economy in Bulgaria in their Industry 4.0 program. So about Industry 4.0, actually lately there is a lot of marketing fuss about Industry 4.0, and there is two main approaches. One is the American, which is called Industrial Internet of Things, and the European, which is called Industry 4.0 strategy. Let's start with this, that what is the main target of Industry 4.0? It is to make your enterprise more agile. More agile, that means that from occurrence of one event, you can react in the fastest possible way through decreasing the latency or the delay between the event and your reaction. So this one you can achieve it. There is actually first you have the event, then you have knowledge about the event, that it's happened and it's occurred, and then you do the analysis, what you can do about it. Then you decide what is your countermeasures, and then you execute them. So in all these steps to achieve this in shortened possible period, you're using different kind of systems. For example, to get the information, you use real-time capability of normally you achieve this through software systems and integration of all your software systems. Then you collect data and you make big data analysis or machine learning and artificial intelligence to analyze the event and taking decision with the help of decision support system or automated decision making, which is actually the target and the final step. And you want to impose these measures to a vertical and horizontal process and system integration and cyber physical systems. How you can define this through technology? Actually, there is a architect industrial 4.0 maturity model, and based on this model we develop for European Commission, we develop a tool which is online digital maturity assessment tool, where everyone could assess on which step it is and what they need to do as next steps to achieve the the Industry 4.0 enterprise. The first level is just simple computerization of all activities and operations. Then you have connectivity between the systems. Then we have the visibility, what is happening, and to know where it's happening, and get more data from the process actually. Then is the transparency, so you understand why it is happening and to gather a bigger understanding of the event. Then make predictive, you should build your predictive capacity. So what will happen as consequences of this event and to be preparing for this. And the final step is when you have adaptivity, so self-optimization, and you get autonomous response. And this is called digital shadow of your processes. There is a model, actually there is a standard which is built Industry 4.0. It's a reference architectural model for Industry 4.0. It's built on previous standards like ISO 62890 and ISO 62264. There are different levels. So you have the physical asset, then you have the integration, communication layer, informational layer, which is giving you the information about your assets, and the functional level, what you can do with them, and then the business, what is the business impact of these events. It is called in America ISO 95. It is built based on this, and in its international standard 62264. So it's very important. This standard is defining the objects and the operations in one integrated system. So based on this standard, we develop a digital platform which is covering the manufacturing and maintenance operation management. Operations management, there they have just a few basic phases. First, you plan what you want to do. Then you have a real-time scheduling and optimization. Then you execute it. You collect the data and from different sources and different Internet of Things or different sensors. And you supervise your process. When you finish, then you want to do your analysis based on reports, statistical analysis, and key performance indicators. And based on this analysis, you make your enterprise more agile. Everything is starting with the model. So based on these standards, we develop tools to build your digital twins. Normally, in all activities, you have three types of resources. You have equipment, you have materials, and you have personnel. This is the basic resources you use. And for all of them, you have, based on the standard, of course, you have a passport for your equipment, what is down on it, and what is its current state. Then you have different kind of quality analysis you do on the materials, and you have qualifications, which are typical for different personals. And this one you do it virtualization by defining different properties, different aspects. So you have general, you have dimension, you have physical and chemical characteristics of the material or the person, operational, what you can do with these machines and equipment, and some time information. All this is defined as work centers, and you start with the planning when you actually work with the virtual objects, and then you do the final capacity scheduling, optimization. Then through the execution, you transfer these virtual objects to the physical one, and then you do reporting, historical data, you collect it, you do some analysis, and based on this analysis, you improve your operations. Here is what is you look actually in our platform. You have the GAN for planning, optimization. You have the load balancing on different workplaces and work centers. Then you transform this after optimization to a calendar, which each foreman could see it on his workplace, what he has to do today and what he has to execute. And then reschedule if it's needed. Then you collect the data, you have real-time information and real-time KPI, key performance indicators. And then we supply some tools for statistical analysis, Pareto charts, standard deviation, normal distribution, and so on. The same you can use it for maintenance, where you identify with the picture, you identify actually where is your problems, where is your incidents. Based on these incidents, you can generate maintenance orders, and this maintenance order, you can schedule it and send it to the engineers. You can check what you have in your spare part warehouse, and when they go to the place, you have with augmented reality, you can get all the instruction books and what you have to perform on this equipment, piece of equipment, and then analyze actually how you did the job. Just vertically, if you look, the information flow, it is for that we say is backbone of the Industry 4.0 because it's the centerpiece of one enterprise for manufacturing. It is communicated with the ERP systems. We have different systems on the administrational level. Then in the production management, it is more for our platform, which is covering planning, scheduling, execution, reporting, KPI, and then it's collecting information. We support OPC United Architecture, or different kind of sensors, web services, and so on. So it's an open system. You get information from the control systems, from the chemical analysis, from mechanical analysis, and all this is aggregated and systemized in one form. For maintenance, the same. You collect the information. You can have geolocation data, so it could be integrated with GIS systems or other CAD-based platforms. Then you have the inventory for spare parts, and you get information from all parts of the facility. So that was a short presentation of our platform with which we help our customers to digitalize their operational processes. Thank you.
Thank you, Vlado. It was a very interesting presentation about some theoretical part, which is very hard related to the practice. I really believe we can find something very useful and get your platform to use it with all of your features. I studied operation management. I know this is the linking part between the business and the engineering, in fact. I studied this both in the business school and at the technical university. So indeed, this is what helps industry a lot. So the next presenter is going to be another Taiwanese company. This is Mrs. Julie Liao, who is from the sales department of Churen Industries. Please, Mrs. Julie.
Hello, I will share my information. Can you see my PPT?
Yes, we do.
Okay. Hello, everyone. I'm Julie from Churen. And today I'm on behalf of Alan because he is at the Taipei Bicycle Exhibition now. And I've been working in this company for 4 years. And I'm now in the market department. Now I want to make an introduction of our company. Our company has been established for 31 years. And our turnover yearly is $30 million US. We have 200 employees in our companies. And our main products is hand tools, including sockets, pass key, and screwdriver. And this is our evolution. You can see that our company established in 1991. And we have gained the ISO certification in 2000 and BSCI certification in 2010. And for the product certification, we have owned VPAGS, TUVGS, and VDGS. Okay, and most important of all, our company has professional quality control. As you can see in the PPT, we have various kind of testing machine, such as hardness tester and 2D measure machine, torque machine, salt spread tester, and color view booth. We use this machine to make sure our quality in each production process. And now I want to show you our main customer. I think you feel familiar with Lowe's brands, right? I think yes, because Lowe's brands are famous brands around the world. And let us go through it. For the American, we have sold to the international hardware hypermarkets such as Stanley's Craftsman and O'Reilly, Playboy's, Napa, and Walmart's, Lowe's, and Costco. And for Germany, we have sold to Obi, Bauhaus, and Toots. And to Sweden, we have sold to Bitma. Okay, and to the next, the auto repair industry. In Germany, we have sold to KX, Haze, Booth, Berner. And for other Europe country, we have Craftswork, Facom, Beta, and Baco. And America, we have Metco. Australia, we have PK Tool and King Kong. And for Asia, we have sold to Tone in Japan. And for the machinery industry, in Germany, we have Norwest, Fortis, Matador, SNR. And in other Europe country, we have Vitalia and ABC Tools. And for America, we have Apex, Trooper, and Tramontina. And for the Asia country, we have Vaso, Sankey, Smarto, and Eastman, and Signet. And for the school industry, we have Rock River and Britain in America. And for Asia, we have TUZ. And for the bicycle industry, we have SKS, Giant, and in Germany. And America, we have Bell and Blackburn and Reebok. And for Asia, we have United. And for the musical instrument industry, we have Gibson and Fender and Kool. And here is the chart to show you our products in each sales to each industry. You can see that in hardware hypermarket, we have 25%, and in auto repair is 23%, and in others is 5%, and in machinery is 22%. In the bicycle is 12%, and school is 9%, and the musical instrument is 4%. And as with above PPT, you can know that our products sell all around the world, and our biggest market is Europe, is 52%, and America 20%, and Asia 18%, and the other is 10%. Okay, and now I want to show you a video to let you know more about our products. Okay. Above presentation and the video, I think you know more about company. And now I want to move to the next topic. The main business challenge that we have met these years. First is compared to India and China, the production costs in Taiwan increased a lot in these 2 years, and the product quality that's made by India and China is better and better. So we feel prices on it. And as you know, China and India has lower labor costs and raw material costs. So we also facing the low price competition from these two companies. And the next topic is, what could we offer to our partner? The first one is we have diverse production line. We have on 35,000 SKU. And we also have our own design department so that we can make the customized products. And the second is the low MOQ. We can provide 100 to 1,000 pieces. This low MOQ can meet different customers' needs. And what is we interest from our partner is that the market information. I think that our partner can be more closer to their markets, and they can directly contact the customer than us. So we hope that they can provide us the market information so that we can put this information into the design and make the better products. And the form of the collaboration is that from companies' perspective, no matter OEM or ODM, we look forward to do well on the quality control, and we want to provide more better service. And so we hope, and in order to enhance the value of the company. And the form that we look forward is that we rely on the partner and the partner rely on us, and we give each other certain pressure to help each other to grow. Okay. This is our presentation. Thank you.
Thank you, Julie, so much for your presentation. I really liked the pattern of your presentation. You just told us everything about your production presentation of the company and what you're interested in. I really hope there are going to be some partners that are going to be interested. At least I have some companies that are interested in buying tools. So later on we can get in touch and I could connect it with them. So if you do some business with them, it would be wonderful for both sides. Thank you very much again for your presentation.
Thank you.
And now we continue with Professor Paolo Chiabert from the University of Turin, who is going to tell us about a very interesting platform he is working on along with some Italian companies. So, Professor, please have the floor.
Thank you very much, Dimitri. I share my screen, so I hope you can see my presentation properly, I hope.
Yeah, we do see it.
Okay. Thanks a lot to everybody. I'm Paolo Chiabert. I'm from Politecnico di Torino. It is a university, a technical university in Italy, but I want to introduce the results of a project that Politecnico di Torino developed in the last years with other research institutions, other academies, and other companies. The project is entitled Home Hierarchical Open Manufacturing Europe, and the goal of the project is to answer the need of competitiveness from our companies in order to maintain an excellent manufacturing technology and organization. The research equation of the project is how to maintain the manufacturing excellence, and the answer is we have to provide flexibility, intelligence, consciousness, and sustainability of our processes. The project, you can see from this slide, is a quite large project. It involves 28 companies, institutional enterprises, and academies. It lasted 3 years, and the project investigated the use of technology, mainly Industry 4.0 enabling technology, but also the management and the organization methodology in order to support the excellence of our manufacturing process. And obviously, management is provided by the lean approach. So the companies that contributed to the project are shown in this slide. There are 2 academies, Politecnico di Torino and Università di Torino. There are other research institutions, IIT, Istituto Italiano di Tecnologia, and INRIM, Meteorological Institute in Italy. And you see there are many companies that are end users, as well developers, as well manufacturing companies, IT companies, and so on. Looking at the participants of this conference, I can confirm that 2 of these companies are currently joining the meeting. They are MEC, that is a company working in the consultant field. They develop a cost engineering analysis, and the other company that is currently connected is Libellula, that is working in the field of laser cutting, metal laser cutting processes, but we will see them at the end. So the structure of the research project is quite standard. We have a level of industrial research. It is shown in green. Then we have the experiment development shown in yellow. And finally, we have a demonstration field that is in blue. And for each level, we have different working packages. My presentation is quite crowded because the project is long, but I hope to be as clear as possible. This is the list, the image of the companies that draw the different working packages, and this is the main goals, the working packages answered within the project. So for the industrial research, Politecnico di Torino and University di Torino developed the background framework. Specifically, Politecnico di Torino investigated the lean model for manufacturing, accounting, costing, process design and monitoring, predictive maintenance, and cybersecurity, while the University of Turin developed the analysis of data modeling, so acquisition, analysis, modeling, and evaluation of data, and the development of human interfaces, or HMI, human-machine interfaces. And these are examples of results of this investigation. The coordinator of the project is ELBI, Electronic Bitron, that is a company in Turin that produces mechanical parts for the white industry. Then we have the second level of our project, the experimental development, and I try to summarize the goal of each work package that is involved in this level. So for the working package 3, we had innovative manufacturing, maybe the development of cobots and gestures, and this is an example of application and the results and experiments we developed. Then we have the hardware and software technology with the development of intelligent gateway specific for the needs of this project, as well as the methodology to certify the electric consuming in the companies, and this is the facility for testing the electric signature. Then we have the development of cyber physical system. Specifically, here is the result of the cyber physical system for the electricity management in a company of the project. Then we also investigated the integration of design, product and process design, process control, MES, and product and process management. So the integration of product lifecycle management, enterprise resources planning, and manufacturing execution systems within a company, Rodise, that is working in the automotive field. Then we investigated also the cost of in our companies, and specifically MEC developed a cost tracker system based using a real-time monitoring system, and such tools has been implemented in Marelli, that is an Italian company working in the automotive field. Finally, in the WP8, working project, working package 8, we worked on robot integration, and specifically how to create more flexible industrial robotics through the use of open source interfaces. And finally, the last level of our project is the demonstration level. Again, here we have 5 different work packages. The first, the working package 9 has been implemented in LB company, and it deals with the larger topics of industrial processes. For example, they investigated worker wellness as well as product efficiency and also cybersecurity in the industrial environment, as you can see in this slide. Then in the WP10 with the Nankino company, that is a mechanical manufacturer company for plants and machinery, they investigated the use of distributed mass to provide remote maintenance assistance to their customers. Then in WP11, Libellula with partners investigated on the integration and the flexibilization of manufacturing process. So the CAD/CAM integration, the implementation of augmented reality in manufacturing process, and the adoption of wearable sensors to help workers in managing the manufacturing operation. In WP12, we focus on the management of energy in a large agricultural company, a larger consumer of electricity, and we develop a cyber physical system for the modeling of the energy consumption and for the monitoring in order to develop a forecasting of energy use. And finally, in the WP13, we talk about the maintenance. We work with Fidia. It is a company that produces CNC machine, and we investigated on the origin of mechanical fault, and we developed a monitoring system in order to identify some KPI indicator in order to detect possible failures. And also we develop a remote maintenance process based on augmented reality. So in the summary, this is the goals and the results of our project. This is the structure of the relationships that we developed and maintain in the project in order to obtain the results. And what I want to highlight at the end of my presentation is the large range of issues that we investigated in our manufacturing processes or our manufacturing industry, involving not only efficiency, not only technology, manufacturing technology and IT technology, but also the use of energy. That is really a challenging topic at this time, as well as the financial and economic issues. And finally, also the social responsibility of companies, that is a topic that we have to face in the future. So again, I want to thank you for your invitation. In this slide, there are the references of the presenter, Paolo Chiabat, and the two companies that join our meeting, that are Libellula with Umberto Cannardella and MEC with Mr. Luca Sarli. And that's all for my presentation.
Thank you very much, Paolo. It was a wonderful presentation. In fact, this is the most holistic approach to Industry 4.0 I've ever seen on a theoretical and a practical level. Honestly, this is something very impressive. And this is a pilot project, I understand. I really hope that could be adopted by many other companies in the world, because it is something that that works apparently, and it includes almost everything that is related to Industry 4.0 as a theory made in practice. You know, what you've done is wonderful. So thank you again so much about your presentation. And we are about to finish with the presentation of a young lady called Alisa Zakaria. And she's from Consortio Intellimec. Please, Alicia, you here? Can you hear us?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yeah, you can. We can. Please, you have a floor.
Okay. Can you see the presentation?
Yeah, Professor Paulo, can you stop sharing, please? Yeah, thank you.
So can you see my screen now?
Yeah, we can see your screen.
Okay, perfect. So what I'm going to present you is, well, good morning to everyone. I'm Alisa Zaccaria from Consortio Intellimec. And for who doesn't know us, we are a research consortium. So we involve about 42 high-tech enterprises. And we used to perform shared research activities among this company and also to participate in a European project with them. In this presentation, I'm going to present you the use case, the pilot that we are developing in the AI Ridge project. And this specific use case is focused on the application of artificial intelligence to support the troubleshooting system of one of our partners that I will show you later. Of course, the project is wider than what I'm going to present here, but this is just to give you an idea of how we intend to support companies with such systems. So, just to introduce the concept and the motivation of this experiment, troubleshooting is the process to define, to identify the causes of product or process malfunctioning, starting from the symptoms. And this is usually done by employees which are trained on the job for a long period. So this implies two main issues for companies. On one end, companies are, for them, it's usually difficult to replace such a skilled workforce when employees have to change job or to retire. And on the other hand, the evolution of machines complexity make this process difficult also for very expert employees. So for these two reasons, we thought that computer-based troubleshooting system may support companies in this process. And this is why we started working in this direction. So this company, which is named FASSI, has already a sort of preliminary troubleshooting systems, which asked the user to select the type of malfunctioning. And after a sequence of questions, is able to identify the components which is probably failing and the mode of failures. However, this system and commonly the similar systems which are now on the market are usually based on free decision systems. And this implies low resilience, inefficiency, and difficult to update. What do I mean with this? Low resilience, I mean that if the user provides a wrong answer to the question, it's impossible for the system to identify the correct component. So just one wrong answer is enough to make the system fail. The inefficiency is due to the fact that usually the system requires a long series of questions, even for simple failures. And the difficult to update is due to the fact that this system is rigid and it's difficult to insert a new component and a new series of questions. So we modified this system with using a probabilistic approach. And in this approach, the session starts always with a closed-ended question. But in this case, the answer doesn't imply the elimination of possible components, but imply only an update in the probability of failures for each component. So each answer gives an update of the probability of the distribution of probability. And this new probability is used by the system to identify the following question or to identify the most probable failed components when one of these components exceeds the threshold. So the knowledge base of the system is not anymore the decision tree, but is these information metrics in which we associate for each failure and for each question the probability associated with the answer of the user. So for example, if the system is asking to the user question 1 and the user answer yes, I have for the failure mode 1 an updated probability of 0.9, while for the failure 2 an updated probability of 0.1, and so on. So this system was already implemented, and we tested it, and we were able to guarantee the robustness of this system, since in this case each answer doesn't imply the elimination of some components. The flexibility of the system, since we can skip some question and we can change the sequence of question for each specific case based on the distribution of probability. And they improved in efficiency. In fact, well, the number of questions to identify each component is usually less than the previous system. So what we wanted to do with this project, with ITRI, was to further improve this system, introducing also some AI features. And these AI features, well, the final system is expected to support operators, reducing the diagnosis time of up to 30%. Is expected to support the remote support to customers, and also to provide a structured data collection system, which allow the company to update also maintenance manual, so to identify the most common failure modes and to facilitate also the optimization of the machines. So what we wanted to do was double-sided. So we wanted on one side to implement a self-learning system based on the feedback provided by the user. So the user is interfacing with the system provides the most common failure components and the most common failure modes. And then the user have to provide feedback on this result. So if the result was correct, if it wasn't, or if it was partially correct. So if there were anyway further components failed that the system was not able to identify. So based on these feedbacks from the user, the system have to be able to update both the list of components failing, both the list of questions. And on the other side, we wanted to improve also the interface between the system and the user by moving from a closed-ended question interface to a free dialogue with the system. So we are working to introduce the speech-to-text technologies and the text-to-speech technologies to improve these interfaces, so to introduce the free dialogue. Then we are working also in parallel for the content semantic recognition. So the system have to be able to understand what the user is meaning. So it is not, usually the user is not always able to interact with the system, providing a very specific language, a very technical language. And so the system have also to, let's say, to interpret the language of the user. Then we have already introduced a new rule-based systems and the self-learning system to introduce new questions and new failure modes, and so to update constantly the system and to provide always the most advanced support to both the companies and the customers. So I will end just with some administrative information. In this experiment, we are working with the TXT. So we are the experiment promoter, and the TXT solution is currently our technology provider, which is supporting us, especially for the natural language processing. So for the text-to-speech and the speech-to-text translation, and for the content and semantic understanding. So, and the experiment is developed in our laboratory, which is located at the Kilometro Rosso Innovation District, and also in our laboratory placed in Dalmine, which you see the picture on the bottom right of this slide. So this is more or less everything from my side, but if there are any questions, I'm here to answer it.
Thank you very much, Elisa. It was a presentation that honestly I couldn't follow because apparently my technical level is already not so high. But it seems it is working, and this is something very important when it comes to operating the communication between human and machine. I guess this is it. This is the future. I simply not prepared about all of this, but I'm quite sure it's a wonderful example of a scientific approach to Industry 4.0. So basically, we are about to end our webinar. We have a short time frame for questions and answers. Before that, we are going to wrap up with perhaps later on with Eddie. But first, if you have any questions about anything, my personal opinion here is that it was a good webinar that included both science and business production, which is very important because science should be applied to business in order to improve. So if anyone has any questions, please ask. We can just keep it informal, so we can have this discussion between each other, quite informal. Do you see anything about the internationalization here, the collaboration between Europe and Taiwan? In that case, we've seen a lot of some of the biggest companies there in Taiwan, and also some of the tank bodies here in Europe about new development in the area of the scientific approach of the industrialization in Industry 4.0 in general. Any questions?
Okay, if I can, it is not a question. Sorry, if
Sure.
I can't see how to raise my hand in the system.
You just speak. You don't need to raise hands here. You just.
I want to thank everybody for the participation to the meeting, and I want to thank Dimi for such invitation, because it is a really interesting property. I had the opportunity to work with several Italian companies, from large to medium and small companies, and the most difficult point, the largest issue, is related to the development of contact between among companies and among research institutions, but most important, the relationships between companies is really, really important. So I hope that the webinar that Dimi is managing, and the webinars he will manage in the future, will be the opportunity to develop such a concept. As much as I can do, I'm ready to support any contact, any support I can provide you. Only.
That's great, Paolo. Thank you for the great offer. I'm quite sure there are going to be people to profit from it. Anyone else? I think it's all about the collaboration here, and especially in the area of the science, we've heard something very interesting. If perhaps all of this or some of this is already applied in some of the production lines we've seen in the beginning, but still, you have any other questions, please do ask. or remarks or just something to say about that?
Timmy, may I say something?
Absolutely, Eddie, please.
Okay, I think the Secretary General, Mr. Filipov, yeah, just mentioned about the digital Europe, right?
Yeah.
Okay, in Taiwan, we also have that sort of incentive program to encourage the private sectors to join the Horizon 2020. And nowadays, that is Digital Europe, right? Because, yeah, just mention about that sort of Digital Europe that will be different from the previous Horizon Europe. We'll move to this kind of implementation side. Okay, just mention about the PMC that's led by our General Director Tim Lai. Their institute is more likely close to the applied side. So if you are going to, well, European companies or the institute, they are going to initiate this kind of program, probably can give a team like a mail or a message. So maybe they will be able to join it, and they are love to collaborate with the private sectors and to join the sort of project. Also, I think, Marco, are you located in Europe or you are in Taiwan? Marcos?
Marcus in Germany. He told me
okay, Marcos is in Germany. Yeah, I think Marcos and Mr. Lin from TechMan, they are also located in Europe. So, well, we have quite a couple of speakers there from the consulting side, and probably they would like to, yeah, have a chat with them. Just free, yeah, please contact with them directly. Maybe you can have a lot of topics to discuss with. Yeah, and if you need any further information from Taiwan side, please feel free to contact with us. Well, Team Live, the General Director or PMC or myself. Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you, Eddie. And a little bit wrap up from me. I think it has been a useful event with presentation of presented the business and the science in the same time. Perhaps we should think about our next webinar, which is going to be on the topic digital transformation. And I think, Eddie, we could learn a little bit. I'm going to develop this topic about the Digital Europe program. So we could bring a little bit more about that and understand what possible connections could be between our both countries. I mean, the continent, European Union and Taiwan. And we can work in that direction, by the way, because it seems interesting. And I believe we reached our goals. We show to each other both sides of Taiwan and the European Union. And I really believe, I don't know, perhaps it's my personal opinion, we've heard some very interesting things, both from the production and from the science fields. And I strongly believe this is just the beginning of a future collaboration between science and business, which is not an easy task, basically. Yeah, this is it from me.
There are several business models.
Yes. So if you have anything other to say, Eddie, or any other partners, please do say that. If you think we are already said anything, we can end the webinar and think about the next one, perhaps.
Yes. All right.
Yeah. So if you don't have anything to say, thank you again for your presence here. I'm really happy that you visited our webinar. I really appreciate it, and it was very interesting to me. I hope it was useful to you as well. Thanks a lot. and have a wonderful weekend, perhaps. Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you,
very
bye.
much.
Bye-bye.
Thank you very much. Bye.
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 总经理。
是，谢谢你啊，替我们。